So let's take a look at the hormones raging through this little boy's body, this little puppy's body. He has not been fixed. He's too young right now, but the testosterone is there. This guy is still intact. I forgot. He's got so much hair I wasn't able to see his huevos. But he is intact. Both of these guys are intact. And you see the submissive body posture that he has with those dogs that are dominant and that smell dominant. It brings in the submissiveness that he has, which is what we're looking for, which is most important. We want a dog to learn how to go backwards as well as forward. You see, she just gave him a discipline. He's starting to rev up. That's when he started running. And this girl disciplined, and she disciplined her. She's saying, you're just a little child, and you need guidance. And let me tell you how this thing is done. This is a law that we're talking about, a law that I've been talking about for quite some time now. And we finally given it a name. I think people are ready to understand it in a way that they can apply it to their dog and see the realness in it. This is the way nature intended animals to process information. This is the only way. This is what they know. This is what's genetically hardwired in them. This constant fluctuation of discipline and domination, submission, hierarchy, life and death, survival, technique that has been placed in them. As much as we try, we will never be able to take it out of them. It's what's there, but they have it at different degrees. In other words, if a dog is genetically hardwired to be an alpha, a beta, a subordinate, or an omega, that is what they are. And so, based on what they are, the intensity of what they are will develop as time goes on, and how we end up interacting with them as we allow for them to grow with us. We can influence it to become more, or we can influence it to reduce the level and the intensity of what a dog is going to be by not playing into that predatory behavior. Some dogs are subordinate. This girl is a runt, and she is somewhat subordinate, but at times she can show her dominant personality because she's balancing herself. This girl right here is more dominant. Not aggressive, just dominant. This boy here is dominant and showing some sense of aggression. That's just what he's made of. I'm trying to get him on film, but he's running around. Okay? And then the other puppy, which is this one here, is more skittish, but she would be considered subdominant in her behavior. You see? Now, I'm going to stop this behavior with a voice. Hey! What the puppies have learned very quickly. And then this girl begins again, you see, to run and hide. But the initial, hey, stop that, is what I'm looking for. That hormonal manipulation is most important. Now this guy, which is the brother of the three sisters, is interested in males because he smells different. But they have the same hardware. See, he's constantly smelling, checking things out of the males because he's in that competition mode. He wants to challenge. He's got the testosterone running through him. Now, since he has that running through him, which is making him feel the way he feels, it's up to us to help him to balance that by practicing the discipline and domination to the point that he can learn to submit to the human being, as well as the dogs will make him submit to them. So he's going to have to go through some changes. It's inevitable that he will go through these changes because of the emotional feelings that he's having. He's been living with two female dogs. He has not been living with male dogs, so he's not getting that from other males, but he's getting the discipline and the domination from the females, and see how he begins to push back. Now, I allow for this to take place because he's learning. He's got to learn where his strengths and weaknesses are. The human being has to learn that too. These puppies run around and they show their dominance. They are flexing their muscles. They're showing their physical attributes. They're doing all of these things to climb. And so they're just trying to figure out where the balance is and where they are in life. They'll know which dogs to mess with and which dogs not to mess with based on the emotional response that a dog will give them, whether they're playing, challenging, or they're trying to dominate. There's a difference, and they have to learn that difference. Who's playing and who's not, who's real and who's not. You see? As they go along, every dog that's here, this guy will run into at some point, and then they're going to check him. You're going to tell these guys, hey, you slow down. You chill out. You cool it a bit. But right now, they're like they have no boundaries. They're like teenagers. They don't feel that they have a boundary. They can do whatever they want to do. And that's why the pack is so important, because it tells them what they can and cannot do. I want to bring another guy out that plays pretty hard to see if he can connect to what's going on and shed some light on this. Here we go. And it's this guy here, because he plays pretty rough, but he's all about play. So this is a good dog for them because he wants to play. Beautiful. This guy had something on his eye and it kind of went down. Thought we were going to have to take you to the doctor, but let's see. Now these guys are saying, hey, stay out of my spot. We haven't eaten yet. I haven't fed these guys yet. So that's a lot of energy that they have too. That's required that, hey, I'm hungry, so I'm going to express all of this energy. So we're looking at that too. So we'll revisit this again after breakfast to see if they've slowed down or they feel a little different. And I'm sure they will. They always do. I just wanted to kind of introduce, this guy is very interesting to me because he is the sister and brother of the sisters, and he does feel a little more assertive and dominant than them, and he is interested in males because he's still intact, you know, and that's what has to be. And bringing him along to become a nice balanced dog is understanding what his genetic makeup is, you know. He's very sweet, but he's got these things happening to him that he's got to deal with. It takes a pack to help him deal with that. As you can see, he's interacting with these two guys, but he's leaning by me. He's still thinking, oh, can he protect me? So, very wonderful dog. Look at how Turtle is trying to insert that she's in control, constantly in control. This is the takeaway for people. We must constantly be on our dogs, 24/7, just like a child. We're always watching them, making sure they're okay, they're doing what they're supposed to do, they're not getting in trouble. Never take your eyes off of them. Always understand that they need the guidance. Okay? Putting him in his place consistently, making him retreat. When I talk about we should be making our dogs go in the opposite direction to retreat, we're always telling our dogs to move forward, throwing balls and frisbees and what have you, the indication of wanting them to move forward, to become assertive, ultimately to become dominant. And they never learn how to retreat, how to go backwards, how to stand down. And this is why dogs get in trouble when they get out in the world and they see a dog or a situation and they become aggressive and they move forward towards that stimulus rather than to move away from it. And this is how they learn that. You see that little yelp? That's like the little squeaky toy that says, I'm going to retreat. And that's what it's all about. So we'll continue.